Dave really likes Amy. She is the most beautiful girlfriend he has ever had. They have decided to take their relationship to the next level. Dave invites Amy home, and she says yes. Everything was supposed to be perfect, but something went wrong. Apparently, Dave was just too nervous to have sex. He couldn't get an erection. Amy left. Dave was very frustrated and disappointed. He didn't know what to do. He was worried. What would Amy think of him? Will he see her again? And if he sees her again, would he be able to perform well in sex the second time? Dave has what is called sexual performance anxiety, a condition that affects millions of men worldwide. In this video, you are going to learn the real reasons why it happens, the simple steps to overcome it, and how to gain absolute confidence and enjoy having sex with any woman. No pills, no hypnosis, no therapy. My name is Leon. 5 years ago, I asked myself a question: why millions of physically healthy men in our generation have a hard time performing the most basic human function, having sex. What has happened to us men of the 21st century that we have to take pills to get a strong erection? Why do we get anxiety before having one of the most pleasurable experiences that exists in our lives? I started doing my own research on the subject. For years, I was trying to find out the answer. I was trying to find out how men and women should see each other according to nature, as opposed to what our society had taught us. And what I have found are the laws of nature. Like everything in the universe, the relationships between two genders are also based on the laws of how we should perceive and treat the opposite sex. When I wrote all my findings on paper, it was so complete, logical, and clear, I called it the basic instinct formula. If you suffer from sexual performance anxiety, I have good news for you right now. You don't have any problems. The problem is not in you at all. The problem is between you and a woman. The problem is how men in our generation perceive women and vice versa. Pay close attention. I want to give you a little insight into basic instinct formula. It's like a textbook that will explain you the mechanism how men and women operate by themselves and between each other. From now on, you will look at sex from a totally different and more natural angle. Let's start. Part 1. An animal and human inside us. Each individual consists of two parts, or we can say two levels. The first, the lower level, is our animal part. It's driven by our hormones. It is basically desires that all animals have, desires for food and sex. Second level is our human or emotional part. All our human drives are social and related to the people around us. On our human level, we see ourselves in relation to other people, including the opposite sex. Based on our emotions, we either accept them or reject them. One important note: these two levels are not independent of each other. Our human part has the power to suppress our animal drives or to increase them. The fact that we have both animal and human inside of us is what is messing things up. If we were animals, and thank God we are not, but if we were, we would be driven just by the instincts and wouldn't have any problems with the opposite sex. Nature would dictate everything. In order to be able to have sex with someone, first, we have to connect with that person on a human level and connect in the right way. Doubt it? Let me prove it to you. Sometimes a woman can see a handsome man. This man likes her a lot, but he is a little shy. She sees a handsome, possible partner with her eyes, but it doesn't reflect in her emotions. She doesn't see a man in him emotionally. And emotions, most of the time, dominate the animal inside us, so he does not turn her on sexually as well. On the other hand, she can date a guy who is not that good looking, but who attracts her emotionally and turns her on sexually. This applies to men as well. An average guy who is usually dating average-looking women gets the attention of a really beautiful woman most men would love to have. Her physical beauty stuns him, but she does not turn him on sexually. He is compelled by her attention. In his emotions, he just doesn't feel her as a sexual partner. But an average girl totally attracts him sexually, although she is not nearly as beautiful. I say this simply to point out that our human level dominates our animal level. And this is true even for men. We have to connect with the opposite sex on the human level first in order to be able to connect with them on an animal level, like have sex. But the question still remains, what stops us from getting turned on sexually by a person who is just attractive physically? Part 2. Part 2, what really turns us on? As we discussed in the previous chapter, our emotions towards the opposite sex define our sexual attraction to them, and physical appearance doesn't play a definitive role here. So what does play a role? What really turns us on by nature? The answer for a man is, it's not what we see in a woman, it's more how we look at her and how it makes us feel. We men want to feel that a woman belongs to us. That's what really turns us on. A man wants to feel that a woman and her body belong to him. And it doesn't matter how well he knows a woman, if she is his wife, girlfriend, or a woman he is having a one-night stand with. The time he is having sex with this woman, a man wants to feel he possesses her, her body belongs to him, even if it's only for one night. For this reason, a man has to look at a woman as if she is below him, not at his level, certainly not above him, but below him. You cannot possess someone who is above you. You cannot possess someone who is just like you, only someone who is below you. It may sound as derogatory towards women that she is below a man. Below doesn't mean she is less valuable, it's just the opposite. Like in case with our children, they are below us. They belong to us because we are responsible for them, and at the same time, we care about them more than we care about ourselves. A woman is turned on sexually when she feels that she belongs to her man, when she feels that her body belongs to him, and she wants to see a man above her, not at her level, and certainly not below her. A woman won't be satisfied until she meets a man who can give her the feeling that she belongs to him. If this is something you didn't expect to hear, well, then it means that modern society and culture have completely twisted our views on each other. Why do you think nature designed it that way? One has to be above the other? Why can't they just be equal? The answer is because they have different functions. A man's function is to fulfill a woman's desires on all levels, sexual, emotional, material. A man is giving, a woman is receiving. Even during sex, a man is giving his semen to a woman. His enjoyment is in giving. A woman's enjoyment is in receiving. Understanding the functions of each gender, how else can we place them in relation to each other so they would naturally connect? In nature, all requests come from below and fulfillments come from above. That's why a man has to see a woman below him in order to be able to give to her, and a woman has to see a man above her so she could receive from him. But why does a man need to feel that his woman belongs to him to get turned on sexually? We said a man's function is fulfilling a woman. Well, we cannot fulfill someone who doesn't belong to us. Can you take care for other people's children and devote your life to raise them like you devote your life to raising your own? You don't have the strength and even the desire to do that, but you have strength and desire to raise your children because they belong to you. As you see, nature is designed in a very smart way. To get turned on sexually, a man needs to feel that a woman is first below him and second belongs to him so he could fulfill her desires. Part 3. Part 3, Twisted. Now, ideally, this is how it should work, but our society as we know it is twisted. Men are raised mostly by women, so they take up behavior qualities of women. After all, a person is a product of society. Whatever examples the society gives, that way a person behaves. Now, on the outside, men are men. But judging by their qualities, men have become more like women. These days, men have a desire to be liked. A purely female quality can show up in a man either as shyness or as a macho-like behavior. Two opposite behaviors have the same source. I want to be liked by women. Now, you can say that men have always wanted to impress women. It's nothing new. It's happened all throughout history. You are right, but the intentions were different. It used to be, I have all these possessions, I will take care of you, be mine. And now it is mostly, I have all of these possessions, do you like me? Do you value me? Yes, we still want to show a woman our success, but not because we want to have her as well. Rather, we want to show it to her because we need her approval. We need her stamp on us that says, yes, you have some value in my eyes. And a lot of times when a man gets into her bed, it's not because he wants her, but because it is the highest way for him to see his worthiness in her eyes. So in our internal attitudes towards women, we have become like them. Our natural desire to have her and to give to her is being replaced by the desire to impress her, to receive her attention, to be liked, to be valued. Now, we are the partner who wants to receive. But haven't we discussed previously that it is a woman's quality? Yes, we men unfortunately have changed, but what does it do to women? If we want to receive from them, it means that we have placed them in the position of a man. Let me repeat, because this is extremely important. When you behave yourself with a woman the way that shows you want her to like you, you place yourself in a position of a woman. And at the same time, you place her in a position of a man. You change not only your role as a man, you change her role as a woman as well. Don't believe me? Next time you see a woman you have a relationship with, ask her a question. Do you like me? I give you an 80% chance she will say, stop talking like a woman. With all these twists and changes of our roles in society, the widespread of sexual problems in our generation becomes obvious. It would be very surprising if we didn't have them. Remember, sexual performance anxiety is not a problem of the animal biological level. It is an emotional problem. It is a problem on the human level. The way we look at the opposite sex affects our human level, and the human level affects the animal level. When we fix ourselves on the human level and make it work according to nature, all the problems on the animal sexual level will be self-corrected. Do you like what you have watched so far? Do you understand what the problem really is? And I just gave you a little insight into basic instinct formula. Now, if you don't agree with what you have watched so far and you think man and woman is meant to be equal and no one should be above the other and etc., then you can leave this site now. Sorry, I can't help you. What I described above is how I believe nature works. If you want to go with modern social norms where everybody is equal, then go with it. I only want to say one thing. If we go against the nature, we will not break it, it will break us. That's why we currently have more than a 50% divorce rate, men need to take pills to have sex, and there are a lot of researches to make a Viagra-type medication for women, because more and more of them can't get satisfied in bed. If you agree, then I believe you would like to learn more, and most importantly, how the basic instinct formula can change your sex life to the better. I'm sure you have learned a lot of new stuff in this video, but it is just the surface of what basic instinct formula is offering. It will show precisely how men and women should perceive and treat each other so they could connect both emotionally and sexually. It will show you how to be confident with women in a way that it will become unthinkable for you to be unconfident. You wouldn't dare to be unconfident even with the most beautiful woman you meet. The only choice you will have is to be 100% confident with them. You wouldn't dare to have any doubts about your performance. Worrying about your performance would become unthinkable for you. It will show you how to enjoy sex at 100%, and you wouldn't dare to enjoy it even 1% less. You will have sex with unstoppable energy. You will start feeling what really sex is. Erection, it will be the strongest you ever had. Knowing that you can perform well sexually will give you a huge boost to your confidence. You will start seeing and having sex with more women than ever before. And finally, it will teach you what I call 2 contradicting rules. What are these rules and why are they contradicting? Following these 2 rules may completely change your behavior towards women to the point when women will start telling it to you up front. You have changed. More women will like you and even fall in love with you than ever before. More women will want to have sex with you than ever before. If you follow these 2 rules, you will become confident. You will have much higher sex drive. You will feel yourself empowered. You will feel yourself above women. You will feel you own them. You will feel that you have become the man a lot of women desire to be with. Why are these rules contradicting? Because each of the rules exist on the opposite side of the scale and they balance each other out. You will learn more about it in the basic instinct formula. The formula will teach you things that you can't learn from anywhere else. It includes the following sections. Doctors and psychologists just don't get it. Here we will talk about what treatments they offer and how it affects the person on the human and animal levels and why they are not a solution to the problem. The reason for an anxiety. In this section you will learn that a man and a woman are connected on a human level, that this connection is hardwired in us, and why sexual performance anxiety is just a form of hatred. You heard that right. What is confidence? Here you will learn why others need your confidence even more than you do, that confidence is a form of connection between you and a woman, why bad boys are actually good to women, and why nice guys in reality hate women. How to break the what-if cycle. Here you will learn that having an anxiety or being confident is just a matter of choice, and why you may even want your anxieties to stay when you start forgetting about them. The contradicting rules. This is the core of Basic Instinct Formula. These are 2 rules that you must incorporate in your behavior that will let you feel yourself a man in and out of bed. Following these rules will let you always be a man in the eyes of a woman. Always. The power of intention. It will explain you how having the right or wrong intentions during sex will make or break the pleasure you are getting from it. Exercises. The knowledge means nothing until you start incorporating them in your behavior. Exercises will change your perception of women, and that will make you a different, more confident man both in sex and relationships. Now, how much is it worth? How much would you pay for Basic Instinct Formula? If you don't know, then ask yourself these 3 questions. How much is it worth for you to know you can have sex with any woman and rock her world in bed? How much is it worth for you to hear her moan and scream from pleasure while having sex with you? How much is it worth for you to see a smile of satisfaction on her face after you brought her to orgasm? We can't really put a price tag on your relationships with women. It is priceless. Basic Instinct Formula costs just $47 and has 60 days 100% money-back guarantee. If it doesn't change at least your perception on a sex life between a man and a woman, just email me within 60 days and I will give you a full refund. But my aim is not just to change your perception, it is to change you and your life to the better. That's why after you finish reading Basic Instinct Formula, you have to do exercises provided there to change your habits. Even the way we look at women are habits incorporated into us by society. You are about to get information many organizations and even industries wouldn't want you to get. If you have no clue who they are, then you have probably missed the whole video. I'm just one person who discovered the information through years of research, but if I am contacted by these organizations, I will close this site right away. Get the Basic Instinct Formula. Not only will you benefit from it, all the women who you are going to have a relationship with will benefit from it as well. Think about them when you buy it. You have 60 days money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose and a lot to gain. The Basic Instinct Formula is in the form of a PDF format ebook that you can download right after the payment. Click the link below the video to get instant access to Basic Instinct Formula and change your sex life to the better.